Do you like Smiley antennas? Well, I do too. I think they are terrific antennas, and I think they do really well in all the tests that I've run on all the ones that I've done so far. So I've decided to continue testing the Smiley antennas, and the next antenna in the series is this Smiley Super Stick 440 telescopic antenna. So when I come back, I will start talking to you about the specifications of this antenna, and then we'll get right into the testing. So this is Dave with Ham Radio GMRS Test and Review, and my call sign is November 8, Delta Alpha Victor, N8DAV with my name and my call sign. And the motto for my channel is one test is worth 1,000 expert opinions. So when I come back, I will show you I'll go through all the specifications, and then we'll do all the testing. But before I do, I just want to show you the packaging that that the antennas come in. It is very, very nice packaging. It's actually rather expensive, I believe. And down here, you get to see that it's the Super Stick with the 440 coverage, and then they also have this kind of horizontal writing as well. So anyway, when I come back, we're going to get right down to it. All right, be right back. All right, so here we are. This is the Super Stick 440 antenna. It's telescopic, obviously. And Smiley says that it should be able to work well, both fully extended and fully collapsed. All right, so I got it with the BNC connector on the end. I get all my antennas with the BNC. I've standardized on the BNC connector. All right, so Smiley usually doesn't say too much about their antennas on their website, but I will tell you what I did find. Again, this is the Super Stick 440. It is a single band antenna. It is 4.5 inches collapsed and 16.5 inches fully extended. It's made out of chrome steel, and it is an extendable telescopic antenna with a BNC male connector. They don't say too much else except that it gets between 6 and 9 dB gain. I assume that's 6 dB gain while it's collapsed and 9 when it's extended. It is supposed to be a quarter wave fully collapsed and a 5/8 wave at the fully extended. So it should be resonant on all frequencies, though they don't say anything like that. All right, so when I come back, we're going to start doing the testing, and we'll be doing some SWR testing, both with the power SWR meter and the NanoVNA. I'll do my usual field strength tests, and then I'll go out into the field, and we'll do S-meter readings, and also the modulation tests, the real-world modulation tests that I do. And then at the very end, I'll come back and I'll review all the results with you. All right? All right, I'll be right back. If you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to be notified of any more videos that I put out, please click the subscribe. After you click the subscribe button, please click on the bell icon. That way you'll be notified every time I release a video. I average about 2 videos a week, so actually I think that's a lot more content than a lot of creators are putting out. So anyway, I would really appreciate all that. It helps the algorithm recognize my channel as being a good one, and I think that it's a pretty good channel. So anyway, I appreciate the support. Thank you very much. All right. I'm testing the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna. And as I always do, I set up my antenna test bed. And before I do any testing, I put a signal stick on there, which I know has an SWR of around 1.1 to 1 or less. And I double check that on all the frequencies that I intend to test on today, that it does in fact get 1.1 to 1 or less. In this case, it got 1.05 to 1. So I've considered that a baseline. And so I believe that the test bed is set up correctly in order to do the testing. So with the Super Stick antenna in the fully collapsed position, I am testing on the 440 band. and I get an SWR of 1.56. Now, with the antenna fully extended, I'm testing on the same 440 frequency, and we get an SWR of 1.04. All right, I'm testing the Super Stick 440 antenna fully collapsed. I'm going to turn on the NanoVNA, and the first thing you're going to see is that it defaults to the 2 meter band, so don't panic. And I'm going to set it up for the 70 centimeter band. Pause the sweep. All right, so I always test at 445. All right, at 445, I get an SWR of 1.957, and that's fully collapsed. All right, now I've got it fully extended. I'm going to start the sweep back up again, and as you can see, it changes a lot. And at 445, I get an SWR of 1.072. All right, I'm doing the field strength test on the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna. And I always do these field strength tests at the same prescribed length with the same exact radio with a fully charged battery. The only difference would be always is the antenna. And this antenna is being tested fully collapsed. All right, now I'm testing the antenna fully extended. At the end of the video, I will go over the results of the field strength test with you. All right, I'm out here at Fox Glen Park in Flagstaff, Arizona. I love going to this park. This park is located 2.6 to 2.7 miles as the crow flies from my shack. And I have a blocked, not completely, but partially blocked line of sight from my shack to this exact area where I'm sitting. It is blocked by a home or two, a lot of trees, blocked by a lot of trees. There's also a overpass that blocks the signal a little bit, and I also have an outbuilding right over here that is all metal and kind of blocks everything. And I think that's about it. So it creates a situation whereby the antennas have a harder time making it to my shack, and my shack making it back to them. So what I'm going to do for the test is I'm going to rate the modulation that I get back from my simplex repeater. If it comes back with very little static and clear as a bell, or no static at all, I'll rate that as an excellent test. If it comes back with some static, but still clear as a bell, I rate that as a good test. If it comes back with a lot of static and not so clear as a bell, I'll rate that as a fair test. And if I can not hit the repeater, or if I can hit the repeater but not hold it open, or it comes back with static so bad that I can't understand what was said, then I will rate that as a fail. All right, so that's how I do it. And also I will tell you what the S-meter readings are when I do the test as well. Okay, and then when I get back to the shack, I'll be able to tell you what the S-meter readings are from the radio here in the park. All right, here I am testing the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna, fully collapsed. NADAV, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna, fully collapsed. 1, 2, 3, 4.
NADAV, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna, fully collapsed. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow. First of all, that was an excellent test. Second of all, I got the highest S-meter reading I've ever had. 9 plus. It was about 9 and almost a quarter. Wow, that is the best I've ever had. So I'm dying to see what it is like back at the shack. All right, here we go. Testing the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna, fully extended. NADAV, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna, fully extended. Testing 1, 2, 3, and 4.
NADAV, testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Testing the Smiley Super Stick 440 antenna, fully extended. Testing 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Well, once again, an excellent test. And once again, 9 plus. Now that, like I said, it's almost 9 1/4. So the exact same reading between the two, fully collapsed and fully extended. I have never had a reading above 9, I don't believe. So this is a new one for me. This is terrific. I mean, I like to see antennas work really well. Okay, so when I get back to the shack, I'll go over all the results, including the S-meter readings back at the shack from my radio back there. And when you see me actually transmit, you'll see the split screen, and I will split screen the S-meter readings from the radio at the shack. All right, so you can see what I'm getting. All right, I'll be right back. When I be right back, we'll go over everything. All right, back from the park, back at the shack, back out on my back deck. It's beautiful out here, as you can see. Actually, it's a little overcast, and it's a little cold too. So you know, but still, it's great. I love the weather. I love the weather. All right, so what did we learn today? Well, let's go through some of the stuff that we did today, because there's something very surprising that I didn't tell you earlier. First of all, you know, this antenna is designed for 440 megahertz plus or minus 5 megahertz. So I always feel compelled on a single antenna like this, a single band antenna, to test it within the band that it's supposed to be tested. I think that's only fair. If I tested it outside the band and something didn't work very well, then, you know, it doesn't make any sense, right? So you got to test within the band. All right, so what did we learn? Well, collapsed, we got a SWR of 1.56, and expanded, we got 1.04. Now, that was with the power SWR meter. With the 1.56 on the power SWR meter with the NanoVNA, we got 1.957, which I feel is very close, and it correlates with what I got on the power SWR meter, especially when we look at the power SWR meter of 1.04 expanded, and I got 1.072 expanded with the NanoVNA. So I think that those results are good, and you can take them as you want them, of course. And I believe that they're close enough and that they correlate with each other. So I think they're accurate as far as being, you know, one being low, one being high, the other one being low, the other one being high. I think they correlate well with each other. All right, so what did we get on the field strength meter? Well, this is where the surprise came in. When I was doing the testing on the field strength meter to begin with, the antenna with the radio overpowered the field strength meter and gave me inaccurate readings. So because of that, I now have to increase the distance that I do the testing with the field strength meter. So from now on, I have to do it the same way. I can't do it for just one antenna. I've got to be able to do it for all antennas. So these results are not going to be quite comparative with all the other results that I've gotten, and all other antenna results from now on are going to have to be a little different, because I can't, if I'm going to run into antennas that work this well and overpower the field strength meter and give me false readings, then you know, it doesn't make any sense to continue on at that distance. So I had to increase the distance in order to keep the meter from being overloaded and give me false readings. So what basically what happened was collapsed. I got it again. It overpowered the meter, and I got a false reading. So I moved it back approximately 4 to 5 inches, and I got a reading of minus 0.06, which in my book was excellent compared to all the other antennas. And then fully extended, I got plus 1.8. Now the meter goes up to plus 1.22. So we're very close to that, even 4 or 5 inches back. So that antenna collapsed and expanded, overloaded the meter. So that's that's a great result. That's all I can say. But to back that up, I go out to the field, and guess what? I got a 9 plus coming back from the repeater back out to the field. Collapsed. And a 9 plus extended. Both right about 9 1/4, but you can't say that about a 9 plus, because once you get past 9, the scale changes. So we can't say that it's a 9 1/4. I can only say it was a 9 plus both times. Both collapsed and expanded. Back here, and that's the highest I've ever gotten. Back here at the shack, I got, on the transmit from the field, I got 9 both times. That's the highest I've ever gotten here in the shack. So there's something going on with that antenna, guys. That antenna worked tremendously, both on reception and on transmission. So, boy, this might be the one that I start using all the time. I mean, at least on UHF, because this thing was terrific. If it's going to overload my meter, and then it's going to give us high S meter readings at the same time, boy, I'm going to have to do something. I'm thinking about starting to go back to my stubby antenna testing area, which gives me more I shouldn't say more coverage, more obstacles to deal with, forcing a little bit lower readings. So I might have to do that all the time. This antenna was terrific. I've never had an antenna do this to me before. All right, don't forget, I spent $28 on this antenna, including the BNC connector, which is an extra $1. So $28 total, $27 for the antenna and $1 for the BNC connector. A little high, but you know what? For the performance of this antenna, I believe it was well worth it. All right, so that's the antenna. Now that I'm done with all the 440 antennas that Smiley makes, and I'm going to start working on the 2 meter antennas. Now this is the 440 a stick antenna. Oh, man, I'm just terrible. Super stick antenna, 440. Okay, and so next time you see me doing an antenna test, I've got some other things coming up that I'm going to also do, some other telescopic antennas. Plus, I'm going to start working on some OEM antennas from Yaesu, Motorola, and ICOM. We'll see how well they perform also, because people have been asking me for that, and I like to give you guys what you're asking for. So, all right, that's it. This was a great test. I hope you guys enjoyed it. My name is Dave. My channel is Ham Radio GMRS Test and Review. And once again, if you like my content, please consider subscribing to my channel and liking this video. I would really appreciate it. 73, so long.